What's up, guys? Killer One Zero back with another video, and sorry if I sound a little different. I'm just a little under the weather today, but I wanted to make this quick video because I just finished watching Death Note. Now I believe it was released yesterday. I didn't realize though, because I was on Netflix yesterday just watching Iron Fist. I didn't pay attention to any new releases on Netflix. Or it may have came out today, because I did not see Death Note on Netflix yesterday. But anyway, I'm sure I'm talking about the movie, not the anime. Alright, so, honestly, I should have known better. Honestly, we all should have known better. If you have not seen this movie yet, don't waste your time. You might as well just watch the anime, if you haven't already. Now, like I said, I should have learned from my mistake of watching Dragon Ball Evolution, The Last Airbender. I never even finished The Last Airbender, but I should have known better. Like, I really should have known better. Shouldn't even waste my time. Really. So, let's just start off by saying they changed his name. I don't know why they changed his name. His name is Light Turner in the movie, when in the anime it's Light Yagami. And I don't know why they changed his name. I don't know what was the point of that. I guess maybe just make it sound more American. That don't even make any sense, really, because even in the movie, you can clearly tell he's Asian. So, that doesn't make too much sense. His mom is dead, and now I stopped watching Death Note after episode 28, but his mom never died. Like, I don't know if she died anywhere after episode 28, but as far as I know, she never died. And especially not, the series did not start off with Light's mom dead. And for some reason, he doesn't have a little sister in the movie. I don't know why either. I mean, that's not really that detailed. Like, his mom and sister weren't that involved in the anime. Like, in the anime, Light's family, the only member of Light's family that was really involved was his dad, because he was the chief of police. In the anime, they never really showed too much of his mom and sister. I mean, I know in episode, what was it, 27 or 28, his sister did get kidnapped, and I don't know what happened to her after that, because like I said, I stopped watching, but I know his sister got kidnapped later on. But the fact that he doesn't even have a sister in the anime, I mean in the movie, come on now, you could at least include a little sister in there. And like, I don't pay attention to the small details, like Light finding the Death Note outside where he saw it fall inside during classwork. I don't focus on little stuff like that, or his hair being blonde in the movie when his hair was all brown in the anime. I don't really focus on that. But the major things is like how he doesn't have a sister, or like he's apparently an only child, and his mom was already dead, which makes no sense. And another thing, Misa. Okay, so in the movie, I'm thinking this character Mia is a completely different character, and then I quickly realized, I'm like, is this actually supposed to be Misa? Okay, now like I said, I don't really pay attention. I don't really care too much about small details that were changed, like Misa's hair color. Misa's hair color was straight blonde in the anime. In the anime, it was completely blonde. There was not a trace of any other color in her hair. But in the movie, she's a brunette. Okay, that's not that different. They changed her name though. It's Mia instead of Misa. I eventually just assumed that was supposed to be Misa. Her character is completely different. In the anime, Misa is famous. She's a model and an actress. She's rich and famous. And in the anime, she's the second Kira. And I don't even think she went to school in the anime, to be honest. Like, she was just doing modeling and acting. So I don't even think she was really going to school, but apparently she's a cheerleader in the movie. Even I don't remember her being a cheerleader. She may have been though. But when we are first introduced to Misa in the anime, she already loves Light. Okay, like Misa's parents were apparently killed by a criminal, and then Light unknowingly killed the person who murdered her parents, and that's what caused her to fall in love with Light. But in the movie, we don't hear any backstory on Mia. Her name's just Mia. She's in love with Light. That's it. She didn't even fall in love with Light in the beginning, but she already loved him. Well, she had to figure out who Kira was at first, though. And, okay, before I get into more details, let me just point this out. I know that the anime has like 38 episodes, 37, 38. The movie is only it's like what, an hour or two long. So I know they can't put all 38 episodes in a like 1 or 2 hour long movie. I think it was about 2 hours though. So I know you can't do that. But if you're gonna include the major characters, don't completely change their character. So yeah, Misa, her character was just completely changed. I mean, she didn't even have a death god of her own and a death note of her own. I mean, they could have at least added that a little. I mean, they could have at least added that right there. Like her in the movie finding the other death note, which belonged to Rem, and then, they could have did that at least. But no, they didn't. They just dropped all that. And another thing, they changed the rule. Like, when I say that, I'm talking about the fact that a person who touches the death note can see the death god. Now, in the anime, we all know that they said that whoever touches the death note can see the death god. When Light touched it, he saw Ryu. When Misa touched it, she saw Ryu. When Light touched Misa's, he saw Rem. Same for L. And the other people who touched the death note. But in the movie, apparently the only person who can see the death god is the owner of the death note, which makes no sense because that is not how it worked in the anime at all. In the anime, it was whoever touched the death note can see the death god, not whoever. I think even that random criminal that Light set up to be killed, when he touched a piece of the death note, like literally a piece of paper from the death note, he was still able to see Ryuk. You know, the one on the bus? Yeah, he was still able to see Ryuk. So it makes no sense why Misa in the movie couldn't see Ryuk after Light handed her the death note. So that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why they completely changed that. Alright. Now, L's character. Okay. There are a lot of times where I have a problem when they change the race of a character. And I'm still, like, a little mad about it. Because, like, there weren't even any black people in Death Note. He wasn't even, like, he was just African. L is not African. He looked nothing like L. Nothing at all. Like, they still kept Light Asian. Oh, and apparently, they're in Seattle in the movie. When in the anime, they were in Japan. But, alright, we're just gonna disregard that, I guess. But, I mean, L, he's not black. Like, he's not black. He's not African. No, he's Asian. Really. He's Asian. I mean, I guess they got his... Kudos to them for getting his sitting stance right. You know, the way he sits. But, like, he's not African at all. I don't even know why they did that. Just so they wouldn't be... I mean, you know how Hollywood be doing movies, like when they make a character and it's more dominantly the white cast, they gotta add that one extra black guy in there so they don't be seen as racist. But I mean, come on, if you're gonna base a movie off of something that doesn't have any black people in it, because it doesn't take place in a country where black people are actually present. Like, I know there's black people in Japan, but it's rare to see them, to be honest. There's not that many black people in Japan. There's more black people in places like the U.S. and Europe and, of course, Africa, Jamaica, them type of places. In Japan, there's not really that many black people at all. If any, actually. And so you're not going to be seen as racist if the source of the movie that you're basing it off of doesn't have black people. Like, L is not black. So don't make him black. And his hair, I'm not, screw it. Hair is not important. But another thing they changed about L's character, he was way too emotional in this movie. If any of you have actually watched the Death Note anime, you will all know that L, he didn't show any emotion. Now, I know some of you are probably going to say, well, in the anime, we never saw L lose anyone that was close to him. And while that is true, still, he always kept it calm and kept it cool, you know? He was always laid back and chill. You feel me? He never showed any emotion. He never started going into a rage and freaking out. And he never tried to kill Light. He never tried to kill anybody. And the way he met Light, I don't care about where he met him at, because in the anime I know that they met when they were doing the test. I don't really care about that. But the fact that when he first met him, he blatantly said, "I know you're Kira." I'm like, L never... In the anime, L did grow suspicious of Light. He did grow suspicious that Light was Kira. But he didn't just blatantly say, "Oh, I know that you're Kira." Like, he didn't just flat out believe, "Yep, Light's Kira and no one else is." Like, no. He asked Kira to join the task force. Well, L to join Light to join the task force. Is that what it was called? I forgot. But he asked him to join Light to, you know, investigate who Kira is. And while he was suspicious of Light, he didn't just blatantly come up to Light and tell him that he knows he's Kira. He never did that. He just investigated him kind of privately. And towards the later episodes, I think that L grew less suspicious that Light was Kira. He started to grow less suspicious. He even called Light his friend, or maybe he was doing that just to get on Light's good side. But I think he started to grow a little less suspicious. And I know they can't do that whole prison thing where, because I know they don't have a lot of time for all that in the movie. Because we know in the anime that Light kind of gave up the Death Note so he could lose all memory of it. And then he went to prison himself, so Light was like back to his regular self. And then afterwards, he got the Death Note back, gained all his memories back, everything. But I know they can't do all that in the movie because it's too much. But still, like, L never just straight up said that he knew Light was Kira. He didn't really know that Light was Kira because Light was a genius. He was a genius as much as L was, maybe even more. He outsmarted L in the end. He outsmarted him because of the Death Note. And in the movie, he just straight up comes up to him and is like, "Yeah, I know you're Kira." I mean, he never did that. And he never ever just walked into his house and started threatening him or whatever. He never tried to kill Light. He never pulled out a gun. He never went crazy or went mad. He never had a mental emotional breakdown. He never did any of that. L never showed any emotion. And like I said, most likely it's because we never see anyone close to L die in the anime. But they should have just kept it at that. In the movie, they shouldn't have had anyone close to him, really. Oh, and L never dies in the movie. Even though he died in the anime before the anime ended. I'm talking like 10 episodes before the anime ended, so I don't know why they left that part out. And I know that Light dies at the end of the anime too, but I guess that's what they were indicating at the end of the movie. They just screwed it up, really. Like, and also, it was betrayed that Ryuk was going behind Light's back. And I knew something was up because I'm like, Ryuk never did that in the anime. Ryuk never did anything for Light in the anime unless Light offered him something, like apples. You know, he'd offer him apples and then Ryuk would do something. Otherwise, he wouldn't, because it's not his business. He doesn't get involved in whatever Light's involved in. So, and then we find out it was Misa, or, you know, I'm just gonna say Mia in the movie, who went behind his back and did everything that Light didn't want to do. Now, they changed Light's character as well. Light did want to kill all criminals, and he did want the world to know about Kira. But here's another thing. In the movie, Light cares about the FBI investigators. He doesn't want to kill them because they're innocent. In the anime, Light doesn't care if they're FBI investigators. He killed every last one of them, his own investigator and his wife. Light in the anime did not care He said he would kill anybody who gets in his way. He said that his goal was to kill all criminals, but he will also kill anybody who tries to stop him. And it doesn't matter who they were. I mean, I guess when you're making a movie about it, you gotta make the protagonist seem like the good guy. But let's be honest here. Like, after, like, the 4th episode, Light pretty much became the antagonist, really. Like, he's probably the first protagonist in an anime that I've seen become the antagonist. But in the movie, he's the protagonist the whole time. Like, he's the good guy. And I'm like, no, Light in the anime didn't care if those FBI agents were innocent or not. He killed every last one of them. He didn't care. He wanted to stop anybody who tried to get in his way. Anybody. He didn't care at all. But in the movie, he did. And Misa went behind his back. In the anime, she never did anything behind his back. She always did what Light said. Like, anything that Light didn't want, she didn't want either. She was that dedicated to Light. Like, for real. Anything that Light wanted, she did. Anything that Light didn't want, she didn't do. Because she was that dedicated. And another thing, in the movie, I don't know why they didn't mention the whole Death God deal where you can trade, where the Death God can give you his eyes, their eyes, for offer of half of your lifespan. Like, I know in the anime, Light rejected that deal, but they didn't even mention it in the movie. And I think they should have mentioned that at least. Like, at least one time. They didn't even mention it. So, I mean, I don't know why they just skipped out on that. And, you know, it's just, they changed everyone's character, really. Like, I mean, come on. Like, they just changed everybody's character, to be honest. And Light doesn't seem as smart as he is in the anime and the movie. Like, Light in the movie does not seem as smart as he is in the anime at all. L doesn't even seem as smart as he is in the anime. I mean, for real, like, he doesn't. They just screwed up the movie. I think Hollywood, you know, no, it's a Netflix original. You know, considering it was a Netflix original, I expected better of this. But I think people need to just stay away from live-action animes. Leave all that live-action stuff to superheroes. Like the Avengers, Justice League, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man. You know, whoever. Leave all that to them. You know, the TV shows too, like Luke Cage and Iron Fist, the Defenders. Like, just leave all that live action stuff to those, because when it comes to anime, they always screw up live action. I don't know why they always screw it up too. Like, they don't screw it up when they be making movies off of Spider-Man and stuff. They get his backstory right, everything about him right, his personality right, his love interest right, the deaths right. But when it comes to anime, they don't get none of that stuff right. Dragon Ball Evolution, The Last Airbender, even though I don't really consider Avatar an anime, or even in Death Note. And I've heard rumors about them making a live action Naruto movie. And, you know, all I got to say is just stay away from these live action anime movies, because it's not working at all. They screw it up every time. Like I said, I should have known better. I don't know why I even bothered watching it. I saw it and I was like, oh, it's finally here. I don't know why I bothered. And you shouldn't really bother either. That's all I got to say. They screwed it up completely. That's it for right now. So, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe if you wish to see more. Be sure to check out my other content on this channel, and I will see you guys next time.